Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 10th, 2020. We just closed here. Qs up 1.2%, SPY down 0.55. Okay, coming into today, we saw that the Qs starting to show a little bit of relative strength now. Pretty steady uptrend here. We were bullish, as we have been for the last 3 weeks on the Qs and SPY. SPY getting a little bit extended here. You can see extended away from the 20 MA there on the daily, was extended on the hourly, and is starting to come in a little bit. So as I kind of referenced before, we could have, a couple days of pulling back, of selling off, and still have a uptrend on the hourly and an uptrend on the daily. So we may get that in the days to come. A little bit more neutral on the SPY going into tomorrow. Qs though still bullish. Okay, so neutral to bullish going into tomorrow. As long as we get this kind of sector rotation, as well as we have seen SPY last week really leading the way, that's pretty bullish. That means, the money flow is continuing. We're getting this rotation. I think one thing that kind of clued us in that maybe Qs were up next to kind of lead the way this week is that we were seeing this kind of setup on Amazon and Apple. So if you've been in the room, right, we've been talking about this Amazon, this breakout here. And that's what's been going forward here on the Amazon. So you can see that was setting up a base breakout. Apple as well was basing sideways and then continuing the move higher. So these were, in a way, kind of resting. And then what we've seen the last few days is really these big tech names start to move back up. Microsoft you could throw into the mix as well. Nice base breakout here as well on the Microsoft. So you can see that they're just consolidating sideways, and now the Q's kind of leading the way higher. So yeah, impressive stuff on just across the board on these, and the market as a whole. We've been bullish. I know that I see kind of comments maybe every day, is the market, is this the top, is this the top? And I have to reiterate that I'm not going to be one to pick the top or call the top. I already know that's not going to be the case, right? Because by the time that I get that secondary entry, that confirmation of the trend being broken, we'll be well off the highs. And I'm fine with that, right? Because, following the trend so far as we have been for the last few weeks, has really given us no reason to start to short this uptrend. And so, just following the uptrend as we continue higher. I think there was some potential, today, maybe if the SPY had accelerated and then today's pop, given us some kind of, acceleration, potential for a blow off top. We did talk about that on Monday when we were kind of at our most extended. But by pulling back here, by basing sideways, and even if we get kind of a multi-day pullback here, that's going to keep it from doing that kind of accelerated move up and exhausting the uptrend. So, so far, as we have seen, this is just continuing the uptrend, still going to be bullish going into tomorrow. We don't really have anything really going on here to suggest that if we break this kind of level that we are going to go into a downtrend. If we get some kind of big gap down, perhaps some kind of shocking gap down that leaves behind days of trading here, then yeah, there is some potential. But really, it's really been kind of like this kind of buy and hold. So put a little bit more effort into kind of going over these plays and scanning them in the room, talking about swings and cores. And if you're in the SST, then you're already covered with that. But even in the day trading room, spending more time on these, just because it's that's what the market's been doing, and so that seems to be kind of the path of least resistance. Really, I know last week we were playing a lot more high of the day base breakouts. And so, really adjusting to the bullishness that we see in stark contrast, of course, to March and even April. And so, this market just continuing higher doesn't really give us any indication as of yet that things are going to stop. And especially at the pace that it's going is pretty sustainable. So, we'll see if the picture changes, but just keeping it simple, really, letting the chart guide us and tell us where it wants to go. All right, so hopefully you guys are doing well this week. I don't feel like it's been all that active as far as the day trades, as far as good high quality gaps. So hopefully you've been able to participate a little bit more with some of the swing plays. But it might be that way for another few weeks until we get to the next earnings season. I think we were kind of well aware that earnings season had died down last week. So, if you end up kind of not as active on the day trading front, I think that's fine. Okay? All right, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day.